You are still here. You're still breathing. And that means you've got a chance to change your story. Don't let your past define you. Your circumstances, they don't define you. You define you. See, when life breaks you down, it's not the end. It's the beginning. It's the moment when you decide, I'm not going to stay down. I'm not going to stay in that hole. I'm not going to let this define me. That's where strength is born, when you're pushed to your absolute limit, when you think you can't take another step, but you do it anyway. That's when you find out what you're really made of. You know, when you hit rock bottom, it feels like the world is on top of you. It feels like you'll never climb out. It's hard, it's painful, it's exhausting. But what I need you to understand is that rock bottom is solid ground. That's the foundation you need to build your future on. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay broken. The pain you're feeling right now, it's not a sign that you're weak. It's a sign that you're still alive, that you still have the power to rise. When you've been knocked down, it feels like everything is lost. But the truth is, you can't see the light unless you've been through the darkness. It's in those moments when you're at your lowest that you find the will to push yourself higher. It's the challenges, the obstacles, the heartbreaks. They shape you, they strengthen you. They force you to dig deep inside and pull out a strength you didn't even know you had. But you have it. You've always had it. It's the strength to rebuild. Now, let's be real here. Rebuilding isn't easy. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take sweat, tears, and pain. But it's worth it. Because on the other side of all that struggle, there's freedom. There's peace. There's power. And here's something you need to understand when you start rebuilding. Don't just rebuild what you were. Rebuild who you were meant to be. Don't just fix the cracks. Don't just patch up the wounds. Use this opportunity to level up. Rebuild stronger, rebuild smarter, rebuild with purpose. You've been through the fire, now it's time to come out forged and stronger than ever. But here's the thing: rebuilding requires more than just hard work. It requires faith. Faith in yourself. Faith that even when it seems like nothing is going your way, you are still capable of greatness. Faith that every step, even the smallest one, is a step forward. Faith that the universe, God, or whatever higher power you believe in has a plan for you. And if you trust that plan, if you trust yourself, you will rebuild. You see, the problem with a lot of people is that they don't trust the process. They want the success without the struggle. They want the glory without the grind. They want to be at the top without going through the bottom. But let me tell you, you can't skip steps. You can't cheat the grind. The pain you're feeling now, it's part of the process. It's what's going to make the victory taste so much sweeter when you get there. You've got to stay the course. You've got to be willing to go through the pain and come out the other side with a story to tell. A story that says, I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I didn't stay down when life knocked me down. I kept fighting. That's the story that inspires others. That's the story that creates real change. And don't let anyone tell you that you're not capable of rebuilding. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't rise up from the ashes, because you can. In fact, not only can you, but you must. There's no other option. You were built for this. The fact that you're still here is proof that you're stronger than you think. Now, I know it's hard. I know it's easy to feel defeated. But I want you to remember something: you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to rebuild by yourself. You've got a team behind you, even if you don't see them right now. You've got mentors, friends, family, and more importantly, you've got yourself. Trust yourself. Believe in your ability to get through it. Don't let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others hold you back. Your strength, your future is in your hands. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to stand up. Stand up and tell yourself, I am going to rebuild. I am going to rise. I will not let this define me. I will not be a victim of my circumstances. Stand tall and take that first step. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just take the first step. You keep moving. You keep fighting. You keep showing up. And that right there is the key to rebuilding. In the process, you're going to stumble. You're going to fall. You're going to face setbacks. But guess what? That's part of it. That's part of the process. You're going to get back up, and when you do, you'll be even stronger than you were before. You will rebuild yourself with the strength of your failures, the wisdom of your mistakes, and the power of your resolve. Now, I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy. No one ever said that. What I'm saying is that you have the ability to do it. You have the strength, the will, the power to rebuild. And no matter what's happened in the past, no matter how broken you feel, no matter how hopeless it may seem, you are not out of the game. You're still in it. You're still breathing. And as long as you're breathing, you have a chance to change your life. You see, the real power comes when you refuse to give up, when you keep fighting no matter how tough it gets. Life might knock you down, but it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up. And when you get back up, when you start rebuilding, you're not just coming back, you're coming back stronger, more focused, and more determined than you ever were before. That's the power of resilience. So don't let the brokenness define you. Don't let the hurt, the struggle, the pain tell you who you are. You get to decide. You get to choose your future. And if you keep pushing, if you keep rebuilding, there's nothing that can stop you. You are not your failures. You are not your mistakes. You are not your circumstances. You are a person who is still here, still fighting, and still capable of greatness. Keep moving forward. Keep rebuilding. Because I promise you the best is yet to come. Don't stop now. Keep going. Life will knock you down, but it's through the struggle and pain that you find your true strength. Rebuilding yourself after hardship is not only possible, but also where your greatest power lies. Rebuilding requires resilience. It's not about avoiding setbacks or staying down. It's about getting back up, pushing forward, and using each challenge as fuel to grow stronger. Rebuilding takes time and faith. Trust the process, trust in yourself, and believe that even through darkness, every small step forward is a step towards a stronger version of yourself. Don't let your past or your circumstances define you. You have the power to change your story. You have the strength to rise from the brokenness. And it's in that rise that you find your true purpose and strength. Life is going to test you. It's going to push you to your breaking point. And when it does, it will feel like the whole world is against you. You'll feel the weight of it on your shoulders, pushing you down, holding you back, and you'll wonder if you have the strength to keep going. But here's the truth: there is strength in struggle. There's power in the pain, and it's through the very struggles we face that we discover what we're truly made of. When you go through tough times, it's not a sign of weakness, it's an opportunity to find your true strength. You may not see it in the moment, but the most difficult challenges in your life are often the ones that shape you the most. We often want to avoid struggle. We want to find the easiest path, the smoothest road, the least amount of resistance. But the truth is, if you don't experience struggle, you'll never know what you're capable of. It's only when you face adversity that you discover your potential. Think about the greatest athletes in the world, the most successful entrepreneurs, the people who have overcome the toughest obstacles in life. What they have in common is that they've all been through something that tested them to the core. They've all faced struggle, but they didn't let it defeat them. They let it refine them. They let it build them into the people they are today. Struggle is not just about the hard times we face. It's about how we respond to those hard times. When life pushes you down, you've got a choice. You can either stay down or you can get back up, fight, and grow from it. It's in those moments when you get knocked down and decide not to stay there that you learn the true measure of your strength. It's easy to be strong when things are going well. Anyone can be confident when everything is falling into place. But the real test of your strength comes when everything falls apart. When you lose something you thought was permanent, when a dream slips away, when you hit rock bottom. That's when you truly find out what you're made of. It's easy to think that struggle is something to be avoided at all costs. But what if I told you that struggle is one of your greatest allies? What if I told you that the challenges you face right now are not obstacles, but opportunities? Every single time you face adversity, you are given a chance to grow, to become stronger, to become wiser. The struggle is the grind that sharpens you. It's the pressure that turns coal into diamonds. Without it, you would never reach your full potential. Struggle teaches you things you can't learn anywhere else. It teaches you perseverance. It teaches you grit. It teaches you to keep going when you feel like giving up. It teaches you to find the strength you never knew you had. When you face struggle, you learn to dig deep. You learn to reach into places within yourself that you didn't know existed. You find a well of resilience, of determination that you didn't even know was there. And this is where the power comes in. It's when you're facing the storm, when you're in the middle of the battle, that you discover what you're really made of. You find out what you're capable of when your back is against the wall and the world feels like it's crashing down around you. That's when the true strength comes. And that's when you learn that you are stronger than you think. But struggle isn't just about what it reveals about you. It's also about what it teaches you. It teaches you patience. It teaches you that nothing worth having comes easily. It teaches you to embrace the process, not just the outcome. When you're in the middle of the struggle, it may seem like the end is nowhere in sight. You may feel like you're spinning your wheels, like you're not getting anywhere, like you're fighting an uphill battle that you'll never win. But in those moments, you have to remember something: the struggle is temporary. The strength that you gain from it, however, will last a lifetime. Every challenge you face, every setback, every failure is just a step along the way. It's part of the journey. The most successful people are the ones who have learned to embrace struggle, who have learned to look at failure not as the end of the road, but as a stepping stone. They understand that struggle is the soil in which success grows. Without the struggle, there's no growth. Without the challenge, there's no progress. And that's why it's so important to never run from the struggle. You have to lean into it. You have to embrace it. You have to see it for what it truly is: a gift. It's the gift of growth. The gift of becoming a better version of yourself. The gift of discovering strength you never knew you had. But that doesn't mean the struggle won't hurt. It doesn't mean it won't be painful. The pain is real. The hurt is real. And you're allowed to feel it. But don't let that pain define you. Don't let it make you feel like you're less than you are. Pain is part of the process. It's the fire that forges you. Every time you go through the struggle and you come out the other side, you're stronger, more resilient, more capable than you were before. You start to see yourself not as a victim of your circumstances, but as a warrior who's overcome the battle. When you start to see the struggle in this way, it changes your perspective on life. You no longer fear the challenges that come your way. You start to welcome them. You start to understand that they are not setbacks, but opportunities to become better, to grow, and to evolve into the person you were always meant to be. Struggle teaches you how to push through adversity. It teaches you how to hold your ground when everything around you is falling apart. It teaches you that you are not defined by the things that happen to you, but by how you respond to them. You can either let life break you, or you can use the struggles you face to build something stronger. When you go through hard times, when the world is against you and it feels like everything is falling apart, you have a choice. You can either give in to the pain, or you can stand up, dust yourself off, and rebuild. You can rise from the ashes. You can let the struggle turn you into the best version of yourself. It's all in how you look at it. Do you see the struggle as something that will defeat you, or do you see it as something that will make you stronger? Understand that every time you overcome a struggle, you become more powerful. Every time you get knocked down and get back up again, you become more resilient. Every time you face a challenge head on and refuse to back down, you become more unstoppable. The struggle is what builds you. It's what prepares you for the next level. It's what prepares you for greatness. And when you look back, when you're standing at the top of your mountain, you'll realize that all the pain, all the hardship was worth it. Because it was in the struggle that you found your true strength. It was in the struggle that you became who you were always meant to be. So don't be afraid of the struggle. Embrace it. Lean into it. Let it shape you. Let it make you stronger. Because when you come out the other side, you'll be more powerful than you ever imagined. The strength you gain through the struggle is what will carry you through life. It's what will keep you going when times get tough. And it's what will make you unstoppable in the face of any challenge. So embrace the struggle. Know that every difficulty, every obstacle is just another. Resilience is the cornerstone of success. It's what separates those who achieve greatness from those who give up when things get tough. It's the ability to bounce back from hardship, to rise after every fall, to keep pushing even when the road ahead seems impossible to navigate. Resilience isn't just about surviving the storms of life, it's about thriving in the face of adversity. It's about looking at the challenges in front of you, acknowledging their weight, but still deciding to move forward. It's about having the strength to face disappointment, loss, failure, and heartbreak, and still finding a way to get back on your feet and try again. But here's the thing, resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a skill, a muscle that you strengthen over time. It's learned, developed, and honed through life's trials. Resilience comes when you refuse to let life's challenges define you. It comes when you choose not to be a victim of your circumstances, but instead a conqueror of them. It's the fire inside you that refuses to be extinguished, no matter how hard life tries to blow it out. It's the quiet, unshakable confidence that no matter how many times you fall, you can always rise again. So why is resilience so important? Why does it matter so much? In life, no matter how well you plan, no matter how prepared you think you are, things won't always go the way you expect them to. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. There will be moments when it feels like everything is falling apart, when you feel like you've lost control, when you question everything. And in those moments, resilience is what will carry you through. It's the force that pushes you to keep going when everything within you tells you to quit. It's the strength that allows you to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when the journey seems impossibly long and steep. It's the resolve to face each new challenge with the same determination as the last, knowing that every obstacle is just another opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. But resilience isn't just about overcoming difficulties, it's about how you grow from them. Every setback, every failure, every hardship, when faced with resilience, is an opportunity to learn, to evolve, and to emerge better than you were before. It's through adversity that we learn who we truly are, what we're capable of, and what we value most. Resilience gives us the strength to turn our pain into power, our setbacks into comebacks. Without it, we would crumble under the weight of our challenges. Without it, we would lose sight of who we are and what we're capable of achieving. But with resilience, the world becomes an opportunity, not a barrier. When you face difficulty, resilience helps you understand that the situation isn't permanent. It helps you see that just because things are hard today doesn't mean they'll be hard forever. In fact, every difficulty you face is just another chapter in your story, a chapter that you have the power to rewrite. You are not defined by the things that happen to you, but by how you respond to them. Resilience gives you the ability to take control of your narrative, to refuse to let the challenges you face determine who you are or where you're going. It allows you to keep pushing forward even when it feels like everything is working against you. In our culture, we often hear the phrase, never give up, and while that's important, it's more than just refusing to quit. It's about continuing to fight, to move, to evolve, no matter how tough things get. Resilience isn't about ignoring the reality of hardship. It's about facing that reality with courage and strength. It's about acknowledging that things may not always be easy, but you will do whatever it takes to overcome them. Resilience gives you the mental fortitude to keep going when others might throw in the towel, to keep fighting when others have given up. And it's through this persistence, this refusal to back down, that you build the life you want, piece by piece. Resilience doesn't come easy, and it doesn't come overnight. It's something you develop by facing challenges head on, by refusing to run from pain or fear. Each time you face adversity, you build a little more resilience. Each time you pick yourself up after falling, you become a little stronger. But it's not just about physical strength, it's also about mental strength, emotional strength, and spiritual strength. When you develop resilience, you develop an unshakable belief in yourself and your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. You develop the mindset that no matter what happens, you will find a way to keep moving forward. One of the most important aspects of resilience is its ability to help you handle failure. So often we fear failure. We let it paralyze us, convince us that we're not good enough or that we'll never succeed. But resilience teaches us that failure is not the end. It's just a part of the journey. Failure is a necessary part of growth. It's only through failure that we learn what works and what doesn't. Without failure, there would be no progress. Without failure, we wouldn't know how to adapt, how to pivot, or how to grow. Resilience helps you understand that failure is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. It's the fuel that drives you forward, that pushes you to keep improving, to keep getting better. It's also important to understand that resilience is not about ignoring your emotions. It's about feeling the emotions, acknowledging them, and using them as motivation to keep moving forward. We all face difficult emotions, fear, sadness, anger, disappointment, but it's how we deal with these emotions that determines our resilience. Resilience doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending everything is okay. It means acknowledging your feelings, processing them, and using them as strength. When you can face your emotions head on without letting them control you, that's when you truly tap into the power of resilience. Another aspect of resilience is the ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and things don't always go according to plan. But with resilience, you develop the ability to adjust, to pivot, and to keep moving forward, even when things change unexpectedly. Being resilient means that you don't just stick to a plan because it's familiar. It means that you are flexible and open to new ideas, new approaches, and new opportunities. You learn how to change course when necessary, how to stay focused on your goals, even when the path to those goals becomes unclear. Resilience teaches you that there is no one right way to succeed. There are many paths, and you have the power to find the one that works for you. Resilience also builds confidence. The more you face challenges and overcome them, the more you realize that you can handle whatever comes your way. You start to trust in your own abilities and your own strength. This confidence doesn't come from a place of arrogance, but from a place of experience. You've been through tough times and you've come out on the other side, and because of that, you know that no matter what happens, you'll be able to handle it. Resilience teaches you to trust yourself, to believe in your ability to face challenges and overcome them. But perhaps the most important thing about resilience is its ability to give you hope. When life gets tough, it's easy to lose sight of the future. It's easy to feel like everything is hopeless, like you'll never make it out of the struggle. But resilience reminds you that no matter how dark the days get, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. It gives you the strength to keep going, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. It teaches you that you are capable of more than you know, and that with enough persistence and determination, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. In the end, resilience is what allows you to continue on your journey, no matter how difficult the road gets. It's what keeps you going when the odds are against you, what pushes you to rise after every fall. Resilience is the difference between giving up and persevering, between staying stuck and moving forward. And it's the key to living a life of purpose, a life of fulfillment, a life of success. When you build resilience, you build a foundation that will carry you through the toughest times, and you create a life that is not defined by setbacks, but by how you rise above them. Faith in the process is one of the most powerful things you can have in life. It's the belief that no matter how long it takes, no matter how difficult it gets, the steps you are taking today are building something greater. It's the understanding that the journey itself is just as important, if not more so, than the destination. Life doesn't unfold overnight. Success doesn't happen in an instant. And change doesn't occur on command. The process, though often hidden from view, is what shapes you, molds you, and prepares you for what lies ahead. Faith in the process is about trusting that everything you do is leading to something meaningful, even if you can't see the full picture yet. Too often, we live in a world that craves instant gratification. We want quick results, immediate feedback, and the satisfaction of seeing something come to fruition right now. Whether it's getting that promotion, losing those pounds, or reaching a goal that has been on your mind for years, the desire for instant success can cloud our vision. But the truth is, most great things take time. They take effort. They take sacrifice. They take the kind of patience that can sometimes feel impossible to hold on to when the end result seems so far away. Having faith in the process means understanding that the work you put in today may not pay off immediately, but that doesn't mean it won't pay off. It's about accepting that things may not always unfold according to your timeline, but trusting that the time you invest in your personal growth, in your career, in your relationships, is not time wasted. Every small step you take is contributing to a bigger picture, even if you can't see it yet. The process is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. Without faith in it, without the understanding that things are unfolding as they should, the journey can feel long, arduous, and often discouraging. We often hear people say that success doesn't happen overnight, but it's easy to lose sight of that when you're in the middle of the grind. When you're working hard and not seeing the immediate results, when you're putting in the hours, facing rejection, or running into obstacles, it's easy to feel defeated. But the process is happening, even when it's hard to see. Every time you push through a difficult moment, every time you pick yourself up after a setback, you're adding another layer to the foundation of your success. Faith in the process is the belief that all of the work you're doing, all the struggles you're facing are not in vain. They are the very things that will equip you to handle the blessings and opportunities that are yet to come. Faith in the process is also about letting go of the need for control. We all want to be in control of our lives, to dictate the outcomes of our decisions, and to have certainty about the future. But life isn't always like that. Life is unpredictable. Things don't always go according to plan, and that's where faith comes in. Faith in the process means trusting that even when you don't have all the answers, even when things aren't going the way you envisioned, you are still on the right path. You may not know exactly what tomorrow will bring, but if you continue to show up, continue to work hard, and continue to trust in the process, you will get closer to where you want to be. One of the hardest parts of having faith in the process is being patient. Patience is not something that comes naturally to everyone, especially in a world where everything is moving at lightning speed. We're constantly bombarded with messages of immediate success, rapid results, and instant transformation. But the truth is, lasting success and personal growth don't happen that quickly. They take time. They require patience. They require persistence. And above all, they require faith. Faith that in time, everything will fall into place, even if you can't see how right now. Patience is not about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It's about continuing to put in the work, day after day, even when the results don't come immediately. It's about trusting that all the small, seemingly insignificant actions you take will eventually add up to something significant. You may not see progress every day, but progress is happening. Growth is happening. Change is happening. You just have to trust that it is, even when it doesn't feel like it. In a world that values speed and efficiency, it's important to remember that the most worthwhile things in life are often the ones that take the longest. The people who build lasting careers, the ones who change the world, the ones who achieve great things, they didn't get there by rushing through the process. They got there by showing up day after day, by continuing to put in the work, even when it felt like nothing was changing. They understood that the process, no matter how slow, was what was going to get them to where they wanted to go. Faith in the process also means being open to the lessons that come along the way. The process is not always a straight line. There will be detours, roadblocks, and moments when you question if you're even on the right path. But each obstacle is an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to grow stronger, to become wiser, to refine your approach. Faith in the process means understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of it. When you experience setbacks, it's not a sign that you're failing, it's a sign that you are learning and evolving. Every setback, every mistake, every challenge is an opportunity to learn something new about yourself. It's an opportunity to refine your skills, to become more resilient, to develop the qualities that will make you more successful in the future. The process is not always smooth, but it is always teaching you something. Even the tough times have value because they are preparing you for what's ahead. But it's not just about individual growth. Faith in the process also applies to how you view the journey of others. Sometimes when we're working hard and putting in the effort, we can't help but look at others and wonder why they're succeeding so much faster than we are. It can be easy to get discouraged, to feel like we're falling behind, especially when we're doing everything we can to move forward. But faith in the process means understanding that everyone has their own path. What works for one person may not work for another. The speed at which someone else progresses is not an indicator of your own potential. It's simply their process, and you have your own. If you are faithful to your journey, if you keep trusting the process, your time will come. It might not come on your timeline, but it will come. Everyone's journey is unique. While it may seem like someone is ahead of you, remember that their success doesn't take anything away from your own. Your time to shine will come when you are ready. The process is preparing you for that time, whether you see it or not. Faith in the process also teaches you the importance of consistency. It's easy to start something and get excited about it, but it's much harder to stay committed when the initial enthusiasm fades. Consistency is key. Whether you're working on a personal goal, building a business, or trying to improve your health, consistency is what will get you results in the long run. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't see immediate results. It's about doing the work day in and day out because you trust that your efforts will pay off. Faith in the process means showing up for yourself, even when the results aren't immediate, because you understand that the work you're putting in now is leading you somewhere. Sometimes we get discouraged because we can't see the immediate impact of our actions. We want to see the results now, and when we don't, it's easy to feel like we're wasting our time. But when you trust in the process, you understand that every small action is contributing to something bigger. The work you're doing today might not pay off today, but in time it will. Keep moving forward, even when you can't see the destination. Keep working, keep believing, keep trusting, because in the end, all of those small steps will add up to something incredible. Faith in the process also means letting go of perfection. We often get so focused on achieving perfection that we miss the beauty in the journey. Perfection is an illusion. The process is messy. It's full of mistakes, setbacks, and detours. But that's what makes it real. That's what makes it meaningful. It's not about getting everything right from the start. It's about learning as you go, improving as you go, and becoming better in the process. Faith in the process means embracing imperfection, because it's in those imperfect moments that you truly grow. When you have faith in the process, you trust that the universe. You define your story. It's not the circumstances you were born into, nor the obstacles that have come your way that dictate who you are. It's not your failures or your mistakes, the things that other people might say about you, or the setbacks that you faced in life. No, none of these things define who you are. What defines you is how you choose to respond to them. You get to write the narrative. You have the power to shape your life story. And that power comes not from the things you experience, but from the decisions you make, the attitude you carry, and the actions you take each and every day. Life is full of challenges, and it is far from a linear progression. You will encounter hardships, setbacks, and pain. You will experience moments of doubt and confusion. The world will try to place labels on you, tell you what you can and can't do, what you are capable of and what you aren't. People will try to define you by their own limited view of who you are. But here's the truth, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is how you choose to define yourself. You have the pen in your hand. You are the author of your own story. Your future is in your control. Many of us spend so much time looking at our past, at the things we've done, the mistakes we've made, or the ways we've been hurt by others, and we let those past experiences define who we are in the present. But the past does not define you. It's simply a series of events that have led you to the point you are at right now. What you choose to do with that past, how you choose to respond to it, that's what matters. The past may shape you, but it doesn't have to dictate your future. The story you are writing right now is still being created. The pages aren't finished. You can rewrite them at any time. You have the power to decide what direction your story will take. One of the most important things to understand is that you can't change what has already happened. You can't go back in time and undo the things that were said or done. And you can't erase the pain you've experienced. But you can decide how that pain will affect you moving forward. Will you allow the pain of the past to make you bitter and closed off? Will you allow the fear of future failure to hold you back? Or will you rise above, choose to grow from those experiences and create a life that reflects the person you are becoming, not the person you once were? The choice is yours. And with that choice comes freedom, the freedom to shape your own life and to take responsibility for the direction you're headed in. That's the key to truly defining your story. It's It's about taking ownership of your life, about recognizing that no one else has the power to determine your worth, your capabilities, or your potential. No one else can decide who you are. Only you have that power. You have to stop waiting for permission. You have to stop looking to others to validate your dreams or to give you a sense of purpose. You define your own worth. You decide who you want to be, and from that moment on, you take the necessary steps to become that person. But of course, it's easier said than done. There are moments when the world tells you that you're not enough, that you can't do it, that you'll never make it. Those voices, whether they come from other people or from your own doubts and fears, can be loud and overwhelming. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing those negative messages. But here's the thing, you don't have to listen to them. You don't have to let those voices control your narrative. Every time you hear them, you can choose to block them out, choose to stand tall, or choose to reaffirm your belief in yourself. The external noise will always be there, but the internal belief you carry in yourself is stronger than anything the world can throw your way. Defining your own story means getting to a place where you truly believe in your own potential. It means having confidence in your ability to overcome challenges, to make it through difficult times, and to ultimately succeed. You have to believe that no matter what obstacles come your way, you are capable of overcoming them. This kind of self-belief doesn't come from a place of arrogance or entitlement, but from an understanding of your own resilience, strength, and power. You have been through things that have tested you, that have tried to break you, and yet you're still standing. That's proof of your strength. That's proof that you define your own story. When you embrace the power to define your own story, you stop looking to others for validation. You stop comparing yourself to others. There will always be someone who seems to have more, who seems to be further along, who seems to be doing better. But your journey is not theirs. Your story is unique, and no one else can walk your path or tell your story the way you can. It's important to focus on your own progress, your own journey, your own growth. Comparison is one of the quickest ways to lose sight of who you are and what you're working toward. When you compare yourself to others, you're not acknowledging the full scope of your own journey. You're not honoring the experiences, struggles, and victories that have shaped you into who you are. No one else has walked your exact path. No one else has faced the challenges you faced or been through the things that you've been through. Your story is one of a kind. Embrace that. Own it. And when you take full ownership of your story, you stop apologizing for who you are. Too many people live their lives apologizing for their existence, for the way they think, for the choices they make, for who they are. You don't need to apologize for being yourself. You don't need to seek permission to show up as the person you're meant to be. Your voice is your own. Your choices are yours to make. Your experiences are yours to have. You are enough just as you are, and no one has the right to make you feel otherwise. It's also important to understand that defining your own story doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out right now. The journey of self-discovery is ongoing. There will always be new chapters to write, new lessons to learn, and new lessons to learn, and new opportunities to grow. You don't have to have all the answers, and you don't have to know exactly how your story will end. You just have to keep writing, keep moving forward, keep showing up. The more you embrace the unknown, the more you embrace the process of becoming, the more your story will evolve in ways that are surprising and fulfilling. It's easy to get caught up in trying to control every aspect of your life, trying to plan every step ahead of time. But life rarely goes according to plan, and sometimes the best moments happen when we least expect them. Sometimes the most beautiful chapters in our story are the ones we didn't see coming. Trust the journey. Trust the process. Know that even in the moments of uncertainty, you are still the one steering the ship. You are still the one who decides what the next chapter holds. You define your story not by where you are right now, but by where you're going. Every decision you make, every step you take, every challenge you face is a part of that larger story. And if you choose to define your life in terms of possibility and potential, then you will find that your story will unfold in ways that you never imagined possible. Sometimes the hardest part of defining your story is trusting that it will all make sense in the end. Life doesn't always give us clear answers, and the road ahead may not always be smooth. But if you stay true to yourself, if you continue to write your own narrative, if you stay focused on the person you want to become, you will see that the dots will eventually connect. Your story will make sense. All the challenges, the struggles, the triumphs, the failures, they will add up to something beautiful. So take a moment, ask yourself, how do you want your story to look? What do you want to be known for? What legacy do you want to leave behind? The answers to those questions are yours to decide. Your story is in your hands. You define it. You shape it. You own it. Keep writing. Keep pushing forward. Keep believing in yourself. And remember, the best chapters of your life are still to come.